Tim Batdorf, and I'm the current president of the International Alliance of Holistic Lawyers for the last year, so for 2007 and 2008. And some other information, I graduated from DePaul University in law school in 1994. So I've been practicing for almost 15 years. And I'm an estate planning and probate lawyer, and been on my own in solo practice for the last 7 years, since 2001. The reasons I went to law school, there were several of them. The reasons I'm happy to admit are the ones like I wanted to help people, and I thought that it matched my skill set in terms of being able to research, and I enjoyed researching and writing, and so I thought that I love to write stories and things like that. The reasons I'm not so happy to admit are the reasons of not really having a realistic expectation and not realizing that I wouldn't really be engaging in a lot of creative writing as a lawyer, at least not the way I experienced it initially. And then I had this perception that the law would be a secure profession. And my experience over the last 15 years is it's probably anything but a secure profession in terms of the laws are changing all the time, law firms are changing all the time. So it's not a place to go and just think, okay, now I've got my law degree and I've got it made. And I think also, you know, as ridiculous as it sounds, culturally, you know, watching the TV shows about lawyers and sort of buying into this image of what lawyers are, which really, you know, I think for most of us, we're not all rich, famous, glamorous in court every day, you know, living this lifestyle that is sort of portrayed. And so I think I wanted to be somebody that I wasn't at the time. And I sort of bought into the image of what I thought a lawyer was. And it really wasn't what my experience was on the other side. I don't want to define holistic law. I'm opposed to defining holistic law. As the president of the International Alliance of Holistic Lawyers over the last year, that's the first question lawyers will ask me. And I sense a great deal of frustration and irritation that I don't have a ready answer for them. I read an article of an interview of Bill Van Zyverden, who founded the IAHL, and he said, well, any answer a person and a lawyer gives to that is a perspective, and it's not the whole. So how do you define the whole? The way I look at it is, as lawyers, we really try to define things within 60 seconds, or we like the rules, we like the black and white answer. And from my perspective, I've seen where that's gotten us in a lot of ways, and it hasn't worked out too well in a lot of situations, in my estimation. Sometimes there's things that people just have to experience and be in relationship with. And so what I would say, if someone wants to know what a holistic lawyer is, attend a holistic lawyer conference and meet the lawyers. We don't have three eyes and we don't have horns coming out of our heads. Just come and talk to us, and if you're interested. And I would guess that pretty much every lawyer, you know, out there is, in my estimation, is an incredibly brilliant person and is smart enough to have some sense of what that might mean to be a holistic lawyer. The highest calling of the law, there's really, in my estimation, it's interesting that you would ask that, because I've been thinking about this actually, and I think there are reasons we exist as lawyers. I mean, that if you go back historically, there's reasons. What we do is we bring order. We bring rules and create order out of chaos, you know. I certainly wouldn't want to go into a country that had no rule of law or have lawyers. And ultimately, those rules are in service of higher values, and the higher values, I believe, are peace, creating more justice, and creating more truth. And anything that we do, and it's interesting because even saying that in a group of lawyers now, I think it's ridiculed, or it can be ridiculed or thought of as, I'm not so sure if I think that's the value we add to society and to culture, and I think that anything that we're doing that's not creating more truth, creating more justice, creating more peace in the world, is we're not serving our mandate as lawyers. Coaching for me, I've been through a coaching program. I went through a coaching program of the Coaches Training Institute, and there were a series of weekends where we were trained. So coaching, how it relates to the law practice. Coaching is a totally different skill set. In law school, I was taught to think like a lawyer. I was taught to spot issues, to do legal research and find answers, or find rules and apply those rules to the facts, and then draw a conclusion on it's almost like a computer. You know, you pop in the data and you output the answer, and that's the legal process. And when I went to law school, things like alternative dispute resolution, there was one course on that in my law school, and it wasn't experiential. It was more of a lecture course on what this is and what mediation and arbitration are, and then there was a test at the end. And so coaching for me, going through CTI's program, I learned about how to listen, how to be a better listener. I mean, it sounds ridiculous. I thought I went in thinking, oh, I'm a good listener, and I still think I'm a good listener. And when I really think about it, I realize I've got a lot more learning to do. But just active listening skills. It was highly developing intuition, and it was just amazing in a coaching situation, being with someone else and having a sense of intuition about the situation and speaking it to the other person and having the person say, yeah, you're right. Boy, that's insightful, thank you. And so what I integrate from that into my law practice is that I'm not just this, brain on a stick, as has been mentioned at this conference. I'm not just a supercomputer, input data, output answer. I'm a person, I'm a human being, and I'm in relationship with other human beings. And that involves several other components other than just the rational, logical, input, output, legal quick fix answer. And I think coaching helped me to see that. Coaching helped me further along the path of integrating that into my practice.